Today's question is ping really the only factor that affects gaming? I'm Steve, this is TQA Weekly, and if you are a gamer and you love multiplayer games, you might be wondering if ping actually affects your game and if there are other things that might affect your game itself. The sad truth is that ping itself is a determining factor in how well you can play in multiplayer. The shorter the amount of time, the better your experience is going to be. People who suffer from long ping times often have issues getting the target and can actually end up getting murdered all over the actual gameplay because they just don't see things coming. Which brings us to the next detail, your frame rate. If you have a 60 FPS monitor, even if you could output the game above 60 FPS, you're not getting any more information, and therefore you can't react anywhere near as well as somebody who has a monitor that has 90, 120, 240 FPS, especially if they're outputting at those frames per second. People who have screens that have more frames per second and output to them have more information. The more information you have of your actual gameplay, the better you react and the less time it takes you to react to an ongoing situation. Therefore, ping itself is not the only determining factor, so is frame rate. But then we also have to deal with input lag. Input lag is caused by the way you connect your controller, keyboard, or mouse to your console or computer. Now, a wired connection is always going to have less input latency, especially if the wire is not too long. But if you're using a wired controller, it's usually better to use a proprietary antenna, like the ones from Microsoft for the Xbox controllers, instead of Bluetooth, because Bluetooth has a lot more input lag than all the other types of antennas on average. So basically, if you want to have the absolute best gaming experience and actually look like you can play a little bit better without getting any more talent, have an internet that allows you to have a lower ping rate, have a monitor that gives you more frames per second and output enough frames per second to benefit from that, and use a wired controller, keyboard, or mouse in order to play. That lowers the amount of input latency, that gives you more information for gameplay, and it also reduces the odds of you not making the shot because of ping rate. So I hope this will make your gaming experience better. Like if you like it, dislike it if you didn't, share with those you think can benefit from this, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, email me at ask@tqaweekly.com or go to my website, tqaweekly.com, where can you see the show notes on this episode, past others, find other ways of subscribing, and of course use the contact form to email me directly. And you can always watch me play video games at twitch.tv/zaxis1981. I am now playing Metro Exodus. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.